Do you want to meet Corey Feldman and Jamison Newlander, the real Frog Brothers? Join us, the Frog Brothers Podcast, August 20th and 21st in San Antonio, Texas for the Summer of Santa Carla presented by Kings of Horror. Help celebrate the 35th anniversary of one of our favorite films, The Lost Boys. With screenings, autographs, artists, vendors, oddities, readings, comics, food, and more. Plus your favorite podcast hosts, Alec, Justin, and Nick. Go to socialrevoltstore.com for tickets and be sure to follow Kings of Horror on Instagram for updates. Looking to win tickets? Listen to the Frog Brothers Podcast from now until the event and be sure to follow us on all of our social media accounts for more chances to win. At Frog Bros Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. We'll see you in Texas.
Yeehaw!
Hello, and welcome to a special episode of the Frog Bros Podcast. Today, we are going to talk about the Summer of Santa Carla coming up next weekend in San Antonio, Texas. And as you can see right in front of me, we have Jamison Newlander, obviously
Hello.
a great part of the film. So thanks for joining us today. Appreciate you taking time out to talk to us ahead of the event next weekend.
Definitely. I'm excited to. I'm glad we got a chance to do this. It's like I love talking about events as they're coming up. You know, it's exciting.
Absolutely.
I'm super excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. As you can tell in my background, I've got my laser disc and VHS copy of the movie behind me. So I was better fish those out, see what I have available. Got the CD soundtrack. I don't have the cassette tape yet, but
the cassette tape. Yeah, I have the cassette tape. I don't know where my original cassette tape is, but
yeah, that's awesome. So we're going to talk a little bit about the event. Obviously, the 35th anniversary is a huge deal. So congratulations on staying relevant for that long and such a popular film. That's got to be very exciting. So how does it feel for that kind of 35 years later still being like one of the best known beloved vampire flicks out there?
You know, I feel really grateful to have been involved in that movie. You know, I wasn't one of those kid actors who was like working all the time and everything, you know, and so the fact that like the work that I did, you know, I was fortunate enough to get into this movie with these awesome people, you know, with this great, you know, team and everything, and somehow we managed to make something that, you know, is like here 35 years later is really exciting and it feels really good. I feel really proud of that.
Well, awesome. I mean, it's obviously one of my favorite flicks of all time. And so just to see that everyone's still excited about it and it still feels fresh and relevant is pretty awesome. So,
yeah.
So this event's going to be kind of a 3-day weekend event, right? So we got a Friday night screening of the film, which is going to be awesome. So I believe tickets for that are sold separate from everything else going on over the weekend. And then there's a Saturday event with an after party Saturday night. And then there's the Sunday final day of the event. What are you looking forward to the most about this event?
Wow, that's a great question. I mean, there's a bunch of different things. Like first, you know, going to these things, it's always a great opportunity to just reconnect with the cast, you know, with the other cast members. You know, I see Jason Patrick from time to time, a little more these days. I've seen him a few times. I don't know if you've seen that video. We did that video together a couple of weeks ago. So, and that was great and stuff, but I don't see him very often, even though we're in LA. So it's great to just hang. We're like a weekend long where we're going to hang together. And, you know, and Corey, I see Corey a little more often, but, you know, it's just great to hang. And also I'm excited too, because he's been putting his tour together. You know, this is kind of like, in a way, like a stop on his tour. It's kind of I think part of why we put this together this way. Or it might be that's why he had to stop on his tour there, but I don't care.
Either way, yeah. He's got that new album that he's been coming out with, and I've seen all the music videos he's been shooting and the rehearsal, and I was pretty excited when I saw his new Fender sponsorship with all the instruments they got.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome. I love Fender myself, so.
Yeah, I was over there the other day, and you know, like maybe a week and a half ago, and yeah, they all had these new guitars. It was really exciting. They were like, "Look at this cool new guitar." I mean, I don't know if he's been. I don't know how much of it's been on social, but like, he's got a guitar with the album cover on it. You know, the artwork for the album cover. It's pretty badass. Yeah. You know, just everybody in the band. You know, everybody in the band's like looking at these new guitars, and I know these guys, and it's exciting. You know, and I've been listening to them rehearsing and, you know, developing this new music, so it's exciting. And I'm hoping to get up on stage with them a little bit. Feldman likes to pull me up on stage for like, maybe if we do Cry Little Sister or something like that.
Yeah, so that'll be awesome. Yeah, with G-Tom Mac being there as well, you know, you never know what you're going to expect out of something like this. So, you know, we don't want to give away too much, but expect something awesome to happen and have a blast with it. So,
Totally. Yeah. And it's like with Corey and G performing, both of them performing throughout, at some point during the weekend. It's going to be exciting. I mean, it's a big deal.
Yeah, for real. And G. Tom Mack did the whole musical that he's been working on based on the Lost Boys film. So
yeah, that looks really cool. Yeah.
I've downloaded the music. It's available on iTunes or wherever you stream music right now, so you can check it out and give it a listen. That way you're familiar with some of the tunes if you're there for the event.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, G, the cool thing about G. Tom Mack is that he's, we've been doing conventions with him, for a while. So it's like, that's when I see him. And then I every once in a while I talk to him. He's like, hi, Jamie. I love you, Jamie. And we're like, but he's always so creative and so coming up with all these, like, that song, Cry Little Sister is such a great song. I mean, even today I listen to that song sometimes just to listen to it, not just because of the nostalgia of it. It's a great song. And to kind of help, to kind of reinvent it and bring about turn it into a music, or like have it spawn into a musical. And then plus the new release of his Cry Little Sister video. It's all really exciting and super creative. It's just really fun being, hanging out with these guys where these ideas are flying, and then all of a sudden you see it, and they're serious about it. They're doing it.
Yeah, there's nothing more rewarding than that, to see a good project come to fruition and come to life, because I think lots of people have that creative flow, but it's just a matter of, can you always execute on it? And that's where a lot of people really stumble. And to see those people succeed with that and do that it's incredible.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, like you say, it's like, I have like 1,000 creative ideas in a day, but it's like, what of those can you accomplish? And it takes, it's a different skill set to actually do it and not just come up with it. So I have a lot of respect, and it adds to the excitement of it, because it's like, oh, this cool new thing, is coming out,
Absolutely. That's awesome. So we've got the screening Friday night. I think you're going to be part of a Q&A session for that screening, from what I understand. Yeah. So you got any hidden gems up your sleeve that you're already thinking about telling us about, behind the scenes stuff? Or I don't want to take the thunder away from that, but I mean, I'm sure you've probably been pondering back on there and getting stoked and getting ready for it. So
yeah, I mean, I wish I could say like, yeah, I'm going to be announcing something really cool. I'm not. We're making progress on trying to do a Frog Brothers show, and it's a complicated path, because Hollywood's a complicated place, and getting people who are not just excited about it but willing to lay down the ducats for it and everything. It's all in process. I think really exciting stuff. I wish I could announce something, or I wish I was ready to announce something more than that, but
Well, I think we're all very excited for that. We've seen some controversial shift with Warner Brothers, but I think now is like kind of that right time to maybe take that chance. Like, let's do this TV show, right? And let's make it something worthwhile there, because you can't just survive off of reality TV, right? There's got to be something else out there.
Yeah, that's right. And this is a cool, world. This Lost Boys world that was created, and to kind of riff on it and find some new stuff with it, as we were talking about, is pretty exciting. And and you'll see the proof is in the pudding. And like you say, it's like, we got this cool idea for this show. We've been talking to people who are pitching it, trying to get people on board. Can we make it happen? We'll see. That's going to be. Were we talking about this last time I was on this?
Yeah, you were kind of mentioned that you had been working on a little bit and hadn't wanted to say anything, and besides that it's kind of in development, but there's obviously the asterisk by it is everything's lots of stuff in development, and just we're all hoping that'll actually come through, and we'll see it.
Yeah, exactly.
See it sooner than later.
Yeah, it would be really cool. It's a cool piece. Also, it's like to take the Lost Boys universe and go the direction of the Frog Brothers, kind of take it that direction, rather than having to feel like we have to move the entire franchise forward. It just takes the pressure off, so we can focus on on the Frog Brothers and still bring in other elements. That would be great if we could do that.
Yeah, I think that provides a smaller scale without having it to be, and I say smaller scale just because TV is typically thought of that way, but as we've seen all these streaming shows on Disney Plus, that's not really the case anymore. It's just you could say small screen, right? Because some of the stories you're able to tell now through a streaming service or just a limited series is just as incredible as any kind of filmmaking going on out there in the world right now.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I remember when in the 80s, when I was when I was doing acting as a teenager, and in the 90s too, it's like film was was where we all wanted to be, but TV has been incredible. This has been really an era of TV. I mean, not to take anything away from the amazing movies that have come out, but and also to be able to do things over 8, 12, 16 episodes or whatever, and play it out that way. It just has the opportunity to get really, really, really specific, really into some of the stuff that we can't get into in a 2-hour movie.
Yeah, you get into all that nuance and that character development that you kind of have to rush through, or have to have happen off screen in a movie. So I'm very excited to see what that could look like.
Yeah.
You guys have anything else you're working on, or is there going to be, have you done storyboarding or anything for that, or do you have a pretty basic concept for it? I mean, obviously you don't have to give details away, but
yeah, I mean, we haven't done storyboarding because we're still, it's like as you might bring on a producer, they may have some ideas about how it's, so it's like we're not quite at the point of being like able to be like, this is exactly what the series is. We pitch it this way, and then it changes into as the team emerges, what it becomes. So unfortunately, I don't have anything fun to deliver on that. There's other cool stuff I'm doing. I've got it's like I don't even want to begin to announce it because I haven't even started putting it together, but I'm putting together a show on my own, a YouTube show on my own, where I'm going to play all the characters.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
Yeah, I've been meaning to do something like that for a while because I love playing different characters and like putting on wigs and and then like trying to act like I'm in my in the scene with myself, and I want to try that. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I think I could come up with something cool. I have a cool concept for the show. It's kind of a wait a minute, I've got to it's a cool concept, it's sort of a horror thriller kind of thing, also kind of comedy.
Awesome. Yeah, horror and comedy go hand in hand, right? You got to have that comedy to kind of break the tension of the horror, so that's perfect.
Yeah, that's right. And I got a foot in both both of these these styles.
You're familiar with both of those. So as we talk about this event, do you have a favorite line from the movie? Or let me ask you this, I guess. What line do people have you sign the most when you're doing like an autograph session? Like what's that number one go-to that everyone loves?
So, it's like, definitely, I think it's between Eddie Munster, it's the attack of Eddie Munster, and kill your brother, you'll feel better.
Yeah. Okay. That's awesome.
It's like, I love signing kill your brother, especially if it's on the poster or something like that, because it's so central to what the movie's about, so it's like to have to have the poster, or to have something where it's like, kill your brother, you'll feel better, or just kill your brother.
Yeah.
I just feel like,
Yeah.
And so, I always ask people, like, when I suggest that, or if they request it, I'll be like, do you have a brother? I don't want to, I don't want to freak you out. I don't want to freak out your brother. Like, your brother comes over and it's on the wall.
Sees your poster and doesn't know the movie like you do. And they're like, what is this?
Yeah. And they're like, and they run out, So those two, I have, so my favorite line from the movie is kill your brother, you'll feel better. And part of that is because, my favorite of my lines, and it's close with Eddie, it's the attack of Eddie Munster, because those are the lines that, kill your brother, you'll feel better. And I may have even talked about this last time I was on your show, but like, Schumacher, actors, we tend to not like people to be like, say it like this, but sometimes it works, especially when you're working with a director who really knows the piece, like Schumacher, and and knows me. He knew me in a way better than I knew myself as an actor. I was like young, I didn't know myself that well. He was able to see things, and so he said, we're trying to figure out how to say it, and he was like, say it like this: kill your brother, you'll feel better.
Yeah.
And I said it like that, and he was like, great.
Perfect. You got it. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. You can find that vision there and just kind of deliver on that, because everyone starts somewhere, right? And you got to get that guidance there. And obviously someone's a director for a reason. So
yeah, that he has this vision, he can see things,
Sure. So we've got this 3-day weekend event, and there's going to be lots of people there. I think this has even changed to a larger venue here in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's exciting to see.
I think just that perfect timing of 35 years. I think they did this event last year for the first time, and
yeah, I was there.
year 2 hitting the 35th. It's pretty incredible. So
yeah, it's neat to see. Oh, I'm interrupting your question. I'm like
go
jumping
ahead.
in.
No,
Okay, so it's neat to see that this event. So I was excited about this event last year, but it was like it kind of came together. They had this cool idea, and it was like I loved the show. I loved how artistic they were. They had so many cool, I don't know if you remember the images from last year. Some of them might be certainly on my Twitter. I don't know if they were yet on my Instagram, but there's one on my Instagram. But it's like where they're just really creative, and they kind of created this cave, and they created the whole feel. And the event was tricky because it didn't come together perfectly, and they thought that Tim was going to play, but he wasn't. He didn't know, and he didn't have the right saxophone, and so it was like something like that. And so I knew there was a lot of potential in the event, and I was excited that they got it together like months in advance so that we could really anticipate it and get excited for it. And I think that's paying off because moving to a different, bigger venue, Jason Patrick got interested in it. Originally it was, originally I was involved with them, and we were trying to get Corey, G was there last year too. We were trying to get Billy, trying to get Corey. And Corey, when Corey's, when it was, the news came that he was, down for this event, and it was going to work out with his tour and everything, it was just super exciting. And then to have Jason and Corey there at the same time, like I was just like, this is amazing. We've done that before, but when it happens, it's really special because these are sort of like two pieces of the cast here, as we, I think, probably talked about as I think I remember on last time I was on the show, that like, they're the younger kids and they're the older kids. And now that we're older, we're all the same age, it's like relatively. And so I can relate to Jason Patrick as a peer, even though there's some part of me that's like, he's my older brother who, in that, that summer, he was so sweet, like, so like genuinely older brother-ish to the younger kids, And so it's just like really exciting. I've had a long time to anticipate this, and I just think it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, I can't tell you how excited we are. I still have a lot of work to do for some of the prep for stuff we have. And I'll tease it on here because we bought a large quantity of vampire fangs that I'm bagging, and I put a custom label on just for the event. So I've got to finish cutting the labels out and getting them all bagged up and ready to go. But yeah, we're very excited about it. This is going to be something special. I mean, we were out for the Ghostbusters 35th anniversary, and that was amazing. And then, to see this movie just a couple of years later turn 35. I mean, it's just so magical when you see these movies have these anniversary dates and just the stuff that can come together for it, right? We're at like peak nostalgia time, and I think people really appreciate what they have, and can really see how things are inspiring the next generation of performers, creators, and everything else out there. So
yeah, well said. And that's well said. That's encapsulates we're in a time where we're looking for that nostalgia, we're looking for that fun, we're looking to tap into that and also take it further.
Yeah, where do you go from here? I think everyone's got these fond memories of it, and I think there's lots of great ways you can carry those forward while still respecting the original. So very excited to see what you and Corey come up with, and very excited to see you next weekend. Any kind of final thoughts here before we send everyone off?
I mean, the only thing I can think of is just that, like, I haven't been this excited for an event like this in a long time, even though I get excited about all of these, but it's all kind of coming together in a cool way. And I think I'm just really excited.
Awesome. Well, Jamison, I very much appreciate you joining us. If you haven't got your tickets yet, it's socialrevoltstore.com. And some of the stuff's already selling out. So make sure you get on there and jump in with those, because there's basically a price point package for everyone. As cheap as $10. So, I mean, you can get in there and kind of see everything going on. So it's really going to be something special. So we will see you next weekend, and definitely appreciate you jumping on.
Definitely. Thank you. Thanks for having this podcast and giving us a chance to talk about this stuff.
Absolutely. Thank you.